Welcome into Tennessee Titans today. I am Tom Downey, and we've got some round one grades from a eventful, let's put it that way, first round of the NFL draft for the Tennessee Titans. They entered the draft with number 25 overall, hoping to set themselves up for success with adding, or 26, adding an impact player. They made the splash of round one from a non-draft pick perspective when they traded away A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown gets a new 4-year, $100 million deal from the Philadelphia Eagles. The Titans get number 18 and number 101 overall. A significant move by Tennessee. They didn't want to pay him big-time money. I would have given him $25 million in a heartbeat. I don't think Mike Vrabel, if you saw that viral clip, was very happy. He walked away immediately. We'll spend some time on the trade and, of course, Treylon Burks' impact and how he fits in, what the entire grade is for Tennessee. But first, I want your one-word reaction to this trade. Dislike is mine. I am not a fan, to be blunt, of what Tennessee did in round one, but I want to hear from you guys. One-word reaction to the shocking trade of A.J. Brown in round one of the NFL draft. The majority of this video is going to focus in on Treylon Burks, the new A.J. Brown for Tennessee. The positives here are pretty straightforward in the sense that you're hoping you have a new, younger, cheaper version of A.J. Brown. That the popular comp out there had been Brown for Burks, plus like bigger version of Deebo Samuel. He's not quite as athletic. He moves very well for a player his size, 6'2", 225. Great production against Arkansas despite a tight end playing quarterback. Not going to apologize to KJ Jefferson for that one. He's a really good football player. I have concerns about his separation ability. He was my number 25 overall player, second round grade, but he's better than Jahan Dotson, who was off the board already. So Tennessee got themselves a good football player in Treylon Burks, who is not the hyped, off-the-charts athlete that we had hoped for, but he is a really friggin' good athlete as well and is by no means a bad one. We will spend some more time on the pros and cons of the pick, the A.J. Brown trade, all of that stuff. But I want to hear from you guys here in the comments section. We're a show for the people after all. Grade the Treylon Burks pick. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comment section. For the individual pick of Treylon Burks, just this selection, I am going to give it a B. I think it is a good football player who obviously fills a significant need for you and was decent value. That is a good pick in my mind. The overall move of round one for Tennessee is a D, because what you've done is hope the guy you just took is the guy you just traded away. You struck gold with A.J. Brown, finding yourself a premier number one wide receiver, and you dealt him for someone who you are hoping is as good and a 101st overall pick. I hate the trade. I like the player a lot, so I don't want to be too negative to Burks, so we'll spend some more time here in a minute on the positive side. But you traded away A.J. Brown? He's so friggin' good, guys. I get that the receiver market has caused sticker shock. I understand all of that. But I had paid A.J. Brown. I had kept my 25th overall pick. I think they wanted Tyler Smith, who the Cowboys took, which I also wouldn't have liked that selection. So maybe the Cowboys helped the Titans from themselves at that standpoint. Burks had been mocked a lot to Tennessee, but it was always in addition to A.J. Brown, not in replacement of Brown. So we'll spend some of the positives here, all right? The size, speed, after the catch combination is dynamic. 9.2 yards after catch is some of the best in college football this year. We'll say that for the negatives, Moves very well for a player his size. Can win some downfield. He's good in that area. He was utilized as a bigger version of Debo in the Arkansas offense. Go watch the first 10 snaps of the Bama game. He's back there at running back, running routes, getting some handoffs because they wanted to get the ball in his hands and they didn't have a great offense to maximize that. Punt returner as a freshman, so maybe could do some of that for you. I always like to look at how you fare against the best competition. In the SEC, it's Alabama. Against Bama, 8 catches, 179 yards, and 2 touchdowns against the Crimson Tide. The size-speed combo, once he gets that build-up speed going, is fantastic. Very good hands as well. 5.5% drop rate. You love to see it. The downside, because that's always down, so that's why he was available for you. Pick 18. It's coming in a minute. But first, subscribe if you haven't already. YouTube.com/Titans today. We've got the best Titans coverage. 3,000 subscribers by the end of the draft, or Producer Jack, who's down really bad about the A.J. Brown trade, he ain't going to come back. He's going to go do something else. He's going to get fired. So help out Producer Jack by subscribing. YouTube.com/Titans today. Now, pre-combine, Burks had been hyped up as the next great thing, the superstar freak athlete wide receiver, and the results weren't bad, but they weren't good or weren't great. They were just they were good, not the elite guy he had been hyped up to be. 4.55 40-yard dash. Again, it's above average. It's good. 33-inch vert is fine. The broad's pretty good. The agility was not great. And that kind of brings me to my number one concern with Treylon Burks. I don't know if he has great separation ability. I didn't see a ton on film. He's built like an X-receiver. My comp is a less athletic Dez Bryant. Doesn't win above the rim the same way, but after the catch, he certainly does. Not an elite route runner. I didn't see a lot of separation. The agility testing does not, belay, if that's the I don't know, that might be a made-up word. Whatever. It's almost 1 a.m. here. If that is not allay, I think is what I'm looking for there. The separation concerns I have there. Also make note, he said he's wearing 4XL gloves. Huge hands, right? Sub 10 inches. That's not what 4XL is. So I don't really know what's going on that front there. But he's a good football player. Top 32 grade for me. My core issue here with the Titans' overall draft strategy is the receiver need filled? Because I don't think it is. We were talking about getting a number 3 receiver to pair with A.J. Brown, to pair with Robert Woods, and you didn't do that. Instead, you traded away your second best wide receiver or playmaker on offense. I assume it's Derrick Henry as number 1, of course, to get a third and an extra first, and then you did replenish second pick. You lost Julio Jones, but you took steps back here, guys. You did not get better. When you are contending for a title, you did not get better. You know what you should maybe think about doing with that early second-round pick? You go QB now. Do you adjust your timeline? Because without A.J. Brown, I don't think you're a better football team. Maybe you try to expand your window by looking at a Malik Willis or Desmond Ridder early in round 2. Just throwing it out there as an idea. We'll know what Tennessee does early in round 2 on the Chat Sports YouTube channel. So go subscribe. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV. We will be live for the entirety of this year's draft. So if you haven't already, go subscribe. It's the link below, youtube.com/ChatSportsTV. Back to the positive side of it here. You got a lot of picks. Round 2, number 35 overall. Round 3, number 69. Nice. There we go, Producer Jack. Round 3, number 90 overall as well. So you can get some more impact players to help out your squad, and you need to hit those picks in a big way because you lost your star young wide receiver, and I'd still argue receiver, along with offensive line, is one of your biggest needs left. So what do you guys think before we go today? What is the Titans' biggest need remaining? Sound off in the comments right now.